And here's another hit, Baby Bonds.
What's going on, Coach Randy?
Oh, nothing much, man. Just came from one of the my youngest boys, his game. They got a tournament game out in Waukesha, in the suburbs.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only place you're gonna find baseball going right now in Milwaukee, man.
Okay. So I was just giving a shout out to all the teams playing and everything like that. So major shout out to your boys. Coach Randy, thank you so much for joining myself, Coach E, on the recess. For the viewers who are listening, and once it goes on YouTube and everything, this is Coach Randy Hogan. He is doing great things in the greater Milwaukee area. This guy, I've been knowing this guy a couple years. He does great things with the RBI program. So, Coach Randy, can you give the audience and the viewers a little bit background about yourself and how you got involved with baseball?
Well, I actually grew up playing here at America's oldest black-founded Little League, Beckham Stapleton Little League, founded by Mr. James Beckham. Grew up playing down there through high school at Milwaukee, Washington. Had some opportunities to go to some smaller schools here. I just wasn't a school person. You know, I didn't have anybody to guide me, so I took myself into the Marine Corps right out of high school. And I got a chance to play a little bit of the Marine Corps has a sort of like a service team that, you know, we would play some local colleges in the area. When I was stationed in Arizona, when I was stationed in Japan, we got to play against the Okinawa national team. But that was pretty much my limit to where baseball took me. Once I got out of the military, I have two sons, 16 and 13. I definitely passed on the game to them, and as they, got further into the game as they got older, I got out of the military to be present for my sons. And in that process, man, that love and that passion was reinvigorated. And it went from just coaching in the Little League. At that time, we lived in Arizona. And, just coaching the kids there, I loved it. It just wasn't too many of the kids on the teams that we coached that looked like me or my sons. And when I would come back home to Milwaukee and I noticed, I'm not seeing enough participation down at Beckham Stapleton Little League, and just seeing the challenges that we face here, in the community in Milwaukee, I wanted to come back. And I packed my family back up. I said I would never do it. I said I was not coming back to Milwaukee, but, God worked in mysterious ways. And so I felt like I was truly led to come back home and get involved with the baseball scene here. So here I am.
Okay. So, man, I love how you mentioned God brought you back to your original stomping ground, your roots. So, it's some people that's going to watch this episode who really don't know about Reviving Baseball Inner City Initiative from Major League Baseball. So can you tell us a little bit about the RBI program and how you all initiate your programs in Milwaukee?
So the RBI program here in Milwaukee is pretty much operated through Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee. There we get the different club sites. We develop teams in our different club sites here in Milwaukee, and that'll pretty much be our recreational league. We try to get all of the Milwaukee public high schools involved to try to get them some more reps. The city conference is, got to be strengthened. And so the RBI program is present for those young men and young women, for the softball players, to, give them some more reps during the summer. So we'll have league play during the summer, and then our travel teams will play on weekends. Throughout the wintertime, we're doing, winter workouts down at Hitters. I've seen you and your boys up there a few times.
Shout out to RJ and the Hitters.
Definitely. Big shout out to RJ. Big shout out to RJ and Hitters. Let's see. Then, of course, we do the MLB initiatives like Pitch Hit Run and the Junior Home Run Derby and those things. So we're really trying to build up the program, man. We faced some challenges here in the last few years that we're really trying to recover from.
Okay.
So we're really trying to build up the program.
So I hear you doing, you know, it's a constant uphill battle with youth baseball. So what are some obstacles or difficulties that the Milwaukee youth have getting involved with elite baseball?
Is that we face here.
Did you hear me?
Can range from
Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me? The
Yeah,
challenges that we face here are pretty much facilities, transportation for a lot of the kids.
Okay.
You know, we have so many kids who, you know, they have a single parent at home, and if that parent is working and can't get them to games, then, you know, it's up to us as coaches to, you know, round the kids up and try to get them to the field. And then here, I mean, as a recent, you know, we facing some unique challenges, I would say.
Okay.
Where a lot of the county fields that we use and the city fields that we use are shut down.
Really?
But what's interesting is they're shut down in the inner city of Milwaukee. But if I went to, say, Wilson Park, which is on the south side of Milwaukee, all right, and the demographic there obviously changes, they're playing ball on a county field.
So, and not to cut you off, so
no,
if I'm hearing you correctly, you're saying in the economically challenged areas, the fields are closed, but the, let's say, economically sustainable or, you know, a richer township, that they're able to play baseball in Wisconsin, Milwaukee.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. So, say for instance, I got an email yesterday morning, telling me that the field that we have that's at the Boys and Girls Club is actually a softball field with a skin infield that, you know, we can extend the base pass and put down portable bases for a 50-70 for 12U and below.
Okay.
Well, the county, that field is owned by the county, but it's in control by Boys and Girls Club. So we cut it, we drag it.
You uphold
the weeds. Exactly.
Right.
And they told us we had to pull the bases up, and the kids couldn't play on it anymore. But another county park, now that's Sherman Park, okay? Right here on the north side of Milwaukee. But if you go on the south side of Milwaukee, Wilson Park, who has a pony league, they got the schedules online, they playing games, and this is again Milwaukee County Field. So what I'm being told is that, you know, they had so many people who were on furlough, and so some of their workers are busy cutting grass by the lakefront, or they're cutting the grass at the golf courses, which are also county-owned golf courses. But the Little League had to shut down. Beckham Stapleton had to shut down. Every inner city Little League here in Milwaukee had to shut down. So Beckham Stapleton Little League, North Central Little League, Lake Park Little League. None of those kids, unless parents were able to, you know, pay and get them on a travel team, those kids are sitting idle right now. Yeah, man.
So you know, before I go on, you know, my heart goes out to you guys. If there's anything that I can do or my resources, you know, we'll get that to you. But I'm going to speak to this point. With you all being affiliated with RBI, is there a possible way that we can tug Major League Baseball on the hip and say, hey, this is a problem that we're having. If the Major League Baseball initiative to get kids playing, and in an urban area of Milwaukee, the higher-ups are saying no, is there some type of idea that we can come to, or that you have, that we can do to get these kids playing? Because it's just disheartening to hear kids can't play baseball because of where they're at, but on the other side of town, which they're richer, they get to play. Like, that's just total garbage. Right.
So and it makes no sense, because the field that they're playing on, so the county told them that they won't drag it or cut the grass, so it's up to them. Well, guess what? That's what I do with our field at Boys and Girls Club. And so why am I being shut down, you know? But yeah, I think, you know, getting as many people with big voices involved. So if it's the Brewers, Major League Baseball, whoever, we're getting a little bit of help now from University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Big shout out to Coach Dofik over at UWM helping us out.
Major.
but we, we really need Major League and I would say the Brewers to reach out to the county and see if there's some kind of agreement that we can work out. If parents, need to sign an extra waiver, saying that they understand, the times and the challenges of COVID-19 or, but it doesn't seem to me that the COVID-19 issue is what's really shutting us down.
No, it's not. It's not. And I can attest to this. I have a program playing right now. We're part of a program. We're in Peoria right now, right?
Right.
And other travel leagues are playing. So you're basically, what the higher ups in baseball are saying is, if you have money, you can play. But if you don't have money, you got to be shut down.
Right.
And I agree 100%. It's not it's not COVID. It's not due to COVID. We clearly see every state is opening back up slowly but surely. The southern states, but us northern states, we're opening up. Mm-hmm. But that's very concerning to me, and I'm glad that we're able to have this dialogue live, and it's going to hit YouTube. Like, I've seen the commercials, and I've seen everybody jumping on the Black Lives Matter bandwagon, but how do our kids in Milwaukee and some in Chicago, I'm just talking about what I know, that are not playing baseball at the Little League because they're not elite and or they're not economically able to play? Like, that has to stop. And I understand that this is going to, certain people will say, oh, well, don't talk about this. They do so much, but it's not enough.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely need more. I mean, at this point, I just want to keep it frank and blunt and honest.
That's the point of the recess. So even our kids who can play, at a competitive level, they're even being, affected because, like I said, once again, if a family, since I've taken over the RBI program, I've made changes to where, these kids are playing for little or nothing, honestly, even if it's come out of my pocket. And it shouldn't be like that if we have, big people behind us. Like I said, we need those voices. We need support. And like I said, just to be honest, in my opinion, there's no way that you should have 32 facilities in the Dominican Republic, but then when you have RBI and our RBI programs and urban youth academies here in the States that don't have adequate facilities. Well, most of the urban youth academies obviously do, but the RBI programs, most of them don't, to be honest. Okay.
And it seems like, when I go to the RBI conferences and different meetings that we have, everybody's facing those same unique challenges. So, honestly, I would like to see MLB get involved with, really putting more into the kids. They are doing great things, with the RBI programs, the urban youth academies, but we need more. Everybody's, just about everybody's complaining about the same situations. We don't have baseball fields. We don't have, and especially us in the cold weather states, as you know.
Yeah.
Hey man, we can't shut down during winter. We want to get these kids in winter workout programs in the off season. And like I said, for us, it's a challenge getting out to hitters, even from the city. Sometimes if we have inclement weather and the snow, it's hard for me to pile a bunch of kids up in a van.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And drive
Safety,
through 30-minute drive through the snow. It get kind of, it can be rough. And I don't ever want to put the kids in danger. But, we do need facilities and, like I said, help with transportation, things that have really piqued the interest of even kids who've never played before. When they see it, man, you got this nice facility where we can come in and, nice fields, that encourages kids to play. If we're at a point where we're searching for fields and we're constantly searching for somewhere to practice and do things, that's only discouraging to the kids because they like,
Absolutely.
Well, they got it made out there. We don't have it. I've seen some kids walk away like, nah, and not be involved because of our lack of resources and things that'll help them to excel. So we need more. We need more, not just, if you got 16-year-old kids in Milwaukee and Chicago that can go, they should be invested in just as well as a kid who is 16 years old in the Dominican Republic or from Venezuela or from somewhere outside of the U.S., abroad.
Yeah.
These kids need that same level of help here. You know what I mean? And use of facilities and things. So,
and I'm gonna take a couple comments, but this is the purpose of the recess, right? I'm not. And now you're an inner city kid. I'm an inner city kid. We've been through that, right? It's time out, especially at the times we're at in America. 2020, it's time out for just being satisfied with just, oh, here's a little something, something. We're doing our part. No, it's time out for that. We need more. 24/7 league. I hope I pronounced that right. RBI ball players deserve so much more. You're absolutely right. Reviving baseball in inner city. Key word, reviving. You can't have anything come to life, unless it's revived. That's the whole point of it. 606, what's happening? Humble Park, I see you, baby. He says, true. IMR Athletics. I hit him on a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Shout out to IMR Athletics. Before I take his comment, the man donates so much personal money into baseball programs and all sports programs in Chicagoland area. So that's Jay Griffin. That's my main man, the best trainer in the Midwest. He says, bottom line, it still shows that we are lacking financial support, baseball fields, facilities, etc. Baseball wants us to be successful, but don't get involved to help cross that hurdle. Thank you so much for sharing that. And this is, and I spoke with Coach Randy 2 weeks ago about this. It's time for the push. It's time out for this. They doing this. It's time for the push. And I said this on my show, I want to say, with 606, right? If you're the higher ups, if you got a seat at the table, it's time for you to really speak up and say, are we really pointing out, are we really doing enough at the Major League Baseball level? Whoever sees it, whoever sees this on YouTube and gets, discomfort, like, oh, it should be, it matters not. Our voice needs to be heard for the black and brown kids every single time. We know we had a disadvantage.
Absolutely.
Just like Coach Randy says, you got kids in Milwaukee area who don't have money that can't play baseball, but kids who have money can. And it's 2020. Get out of here.
Yeah. That's what it boiled down to. Like I said, today, right before I got on with you, man, I was hustling back from Waukesha. And if anybody, familiar with this area, Waukesha is an affluent community, outside of the city of Milwaukee and Waukesha County. And that particular team that he's playing for, you're paying over $1,000. You're paying over $1,500. You know what I mean? And most programs are like that, but most of these kids cannot afford that. And for some who haven't really reached that talent level, now they're set back another year. They're set back in their development and can't keep up with their peers. So that puts us even further behind. So yeah, we definitely need some things to change. Definitely need some help. Even from the, like you brought up, a lot of companies are, posting on their websites, Black Lives Matter, and they want to stand in solidarity with them. Look, I need some of those same Milwaukee corporations and companies to step up to the plate. I've had a local company where the founders are from Milwaukee. Shout out to Natural Habits. They stepped up big time. And they're an essential oil company. And what they're doing is donating a 30% of their week's proceeds to the RBI program. So big shout out to them. And we just need, and they're small. They're not a huge corporation. We have several big corporations here in the Milwaukee area. I could rattle off a lot of names, but people know who they are, and we really need them to get involved and not just say Black Lives Matter. If you stand behind the Brewers, and you're a baseball fan, and there's no way you shouldn't be standing with the Brewers with the RBI program. We have homegrown kids here. One thing that I think about often is, they want to, you want to get more participation. You want to see more African-American fans invest in some of the homegrown talent that's here. Because then you would get family members who want to come and see. and a perfect example of someone who can come from a program where he's invested in is right on the on the Brewers roster right now. Corey Ray, coming
Absolutely.
out of the Aces program. Big shout out to Corey. He's a living example on the Brewers roster right now. You know, and he's a product of, you know, playing RBI, you know, playing with the Aces, people who, you know, really invested in these kids and giving back to them and trying to help them to excel in baseball. He's a perfect example, you know. So we need more. Definitely need more.
AK Baseball, I see you just joined. Maywood, stand up. 606 Athletics. He picked it back and said, but we need more qualified, quality community leaders to utilize these resources. Oh man, we go on and on about that. Absolutely, facts.
On that, Coach E, can I say something to that?
Go ahead. This is, hey man, it's raw and organic. It's the recess.
So we actually will have, you know, guys here in the area who have that knowledge and experience, have played collegiate ball, maybe played minor league ball. Actually just got off the phone with my boy B5. Got to get back with him, but we got guys in the community. Big shout out to Adam Walker. Okay. Guys in the community who have played at a high level. It's just a matter of getting guys like that to come back to the inner city and help out, you know, help out with the kids that look like you, you know. You know, one thing that I know we face with getting guys like that to come over and help us, you know, of course, some guys are still playing ball, and that's one thing. But if you're done playing ball and you're coaching now, please come back to the city and help the kids. You know, a lot of guys will have that experience, but then they're coaching in the suburbs. Mm-hmm. You know, and I can't knock anybody for getting that bag. You got a family to support. I totally understand it, but like it goes back to, you know, people investing into the kids. You know, then maybe we could create revenue where we would have stipends to help the coaches to stay in the inner city. You know, where they can, you know, help feed their family and help give back to the kids who are coming up playing the game. So that was just my take on yeah, definitely need qualified guys to step up and help out.
Absolutely. So currently, I know you guys, you know, with the park regulations and all that bull crap going on, what is the tentative start date that you kind of forecast to start in Milwaukee for baseball?
We're pretty much looking at July 1st. Okay. You know, we've gotten some of the older boys out. This has been a struggle. A county-owned field that UWM used to play home games. University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee used to play their home games on. Hank Aaron Field.
Okay.
That would be perfect for the Boys and Girls Club. Perfect for the RBI program. Turf infield. Grass, you know, in the outfield. UWM maintains that, so the county doesn't have to come and cut. You know, it took me getting chased off of that field with the kids in protest to make some things happen. So we've been granted some access to that field, and we're working on, you know, just continuing to do what we have to do to make that the, you know, true official home of the RBI program. Because there's no way in the world you should have a Hank Aaron Field that's county owned and kids from the city and the county can't play on it. That makes no sense to me. You know, so yeah, we wanted a July 1st date. But as we know, a lot of the games that we'll have to play we'll have to travel. So it's just a few more things that we got to look at, you know, to make sure we're doing it, keep the kids safe, but at the same time, get out there and play ball.
So right now, if a parent, let's say a parent in the Milwaukee area, you know, they want to get their child involved with the RBI program or the Boys and Girls Club, how can they go about doing so?
Well, right now, the Boys and Girls Club is actually opening up for summer camp, but in limited numbers.
Okay.
They started off, we got a ton of club sites, man, but they started off with 2, one on the north side, one on the south side. And earlier this week, we expanded, I think 3 or 4 more of the clubs opened up. So, I mean, if you're in the area, you can pretty much, you know, go to Google and, look at your nearest Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee site. Give them a call, see if you can get into the registration there. Now, as far as the RBI program, we're at an impasse right now because it's hard for us to do the recreation side of baseball.
Right.
And where we're introducing the game to kids and kids who not ready to play at the competitive level. That's where we're really facing that challenge. And so hopefully here soon, when they say that I can open up the field at Sherman Park here in Milwaukee, we can get back to that. But if anybody is interested, they can give me a call, area code 414-739-1508. Or if you're on IG, just hit me up right here.
So, and also, if someone wants to volunteer, coaching, and or donate to the Boys and Girls and or the RBI program in Milwaukee, how can they go about doing that?
As far as donations can be made to Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee. And just, like in the memo or in the letter or anything like that that's mailed in, to put a note in there that is directly to be used for the RBI program.
Hold on, Coach. 606 says post that number again.
Okay, I got him. 414-739-1508. And I just jacked it up and put 007, but it's 08.
Put it again and I'll pin it. And then it'll come through and I should be able to pin it,
All right, there we go.
Yeah. So, and then also, what is your plans for like your rising seniors for college placement? Because as you know, the NCAA just announced their dead period is extended through August, which is garbage. But what is your plan for rising seniors in their college placement? Because I know you do a great job with that. So what is kind of your contingency plan?
So we've looked at hosting like a showcase and whatnot here. I'm heavy. I went to school for video production, so I'm heavy on capturing content, and sending it out to coaches, posting it on our IG, reaching out to coaches myself, making sure kids have field level accounts. And I mean, the biggest thing for me is, like I said, capturing content, stats, and I reach out to coaches personally. If I have a young man or a young woman who's been admitted to a school, I will reach out and say, hey, we got a kid who's, interested in coming to your school, whether it's a softball player or one of the baseball players. Just encouraging the kids to, we've had some of the kids, man, that understand where we are and they, discouraged. They're like, that's it, Coach Randy, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, nah, bro, you're still young. So, not only taking the steps to physically try to find, a school for them to go to, and physically keeping them in shape and, hitting the field, keeping the skills sharp, but mentally, keeping their minds into it. A lot of these kids, man, they getting demotivated. They felt like when I was 12, I had all these dreams and aspirations to go to college and play here and make it to the MLB and play, maybe for the Brewers or for the White Sox or whoever. And, now that dream is starting to seem so far out of reach for them. Mm-hmm. And, I hate that they feel that because, honestly, that was a big part of me, deciding to go into the military. The city conference, we don't get a lot of, attention. Most of the kids that can really go, they're not together until they come together in RBI. So if the talent is spread out, throughout the city conference. So, they don't really, fare well against like the suburban schools who, they play high school ball together. They play summer ball together. You know what I mean? But now that we have an RBI program and trying to, you know, get all the kids to, you know, stay together, play together, develop together, become more competitive together. And, you know, hopefully we'll get there. Hopefully we'll get there.
Oh, we will. We have no choice.
Oh, yeah.
So, Coach Randy, I want to thank you so much for joining me on the recess. Now, here's the thing. Hey, man, Major League Baseball, let's step up to the plate. Let's get this done, not only for Milwaukee, for all the inner cities across the nation. Coach Randy, you know what we stand in Chicago. We stand with solidarity with you. You know, we'll put this thing together, and whatever doors that need to be knocked down, we'll do it. You know.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
So
and we definitely want to get out there to y'all, man.
We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen.
Quick little I-94 drive, man. We'll be there,
y'all our little cut. Y'all our little cut.
Yeah. Yep.
So, Coach Randy, I want to say again, thank you so much for joining me on the recess. Now, make sure you're watching this. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Coach Ernest Horton, Coach E, the Outfield Guru. Next Monday night, I'm going live with USSSA, represent Illinois and Wisconsin. We're going to have at 7 o'clock p.m. this Monday, June 29th. We're going to have a brief recap on the Illinois State Series and USSSA, how we're moving forward. And also, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Coach Randy, major salute. We're going to stand in solidarity with you. We're going to get this thing figured out.
Appreciate you, Coach E.
Inner city babies. Major salute, brother.
And here's another hit, baby Bonds. We out of here.